Tom Bassel. Welcome to Week in Review. This is a video that we do every week where we talk about games that we have looked at and reviewed the last week, and we give you short summaries of them, and then if you want to know more about them, you can click the links in the description below. With that being said, let's get started.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. So last week we put out a new board game blender talking about games that deal with dreams or being in a dreamscape. Put out a best of the month talking about some of our new discoveries and why we like them so much. I also did a video with Mr. Eric Summerer talking about our event at Gen Con, Pandemic Survival. Eric and myself went through one of those events in which you have to compete with other players playing basically an exact version of the game you're playing and try to do the best. Go check out that video to get a behind the scenes look at how Pandemic Survival is run a little bit. And then I did two reviews. I did a review for Brothers. This is a two-player abstract game, basically, in which you are building up a board and then playing your tiles on that board. It's an abstract, as I said. It's sort of got a little bit of a been there, done that kind of vibe to it. I liked it. I rated a 6. And I do think it's very charming and well put together, very attractive. But it also gives you nothing really new. And I think the replayability is just not going to be there, you know. And then I reviewed a game called Carol, as in kerosene. And this is a two-player game as well, but one with a post-apocalyptic game theme, one with a bunch of dice rolling, a real-time mechanism in which you're managing your fuel, rolling dice quickly while your sand timer truck full of fuel is running, trying to control locations and buy up cards to get more resources. It's got quite a bit going on in it. But it's all still manages to feel kind of light and, lots of pressure and a lot going on in it. I like it. I like it a lot. I rate this an 8. It's one that I really enjoy the post-apocalyptic thing anyway, and this one, to me, gives me something that a lot of the other ones don't give me. Straightforward gameplay with a funky twist on top of that real-time mechanism. So I really enjoy this one. I'm going to be hanging on to myself because it just sings. So that is Carol, 8 for me. And that's it for me. Thanks for checking this out. I'm going to see you on the next one.
Hey folks, welcome back to another week in review. I did 3 reviews for you this week, and then we also did some other videos that we'll go into in just a little bit. The first review was a game called Trash Pandas, and this is put out by Game Right. It's a neat little set collection, set collection, take that game. From Game Right, and it's really cool. Has a dice rolling mechanism in it. Push your luck. Had a lot of fun with it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. So go check that review out so that you can see a little bit more about the game. Also did a review for a game called Raids. This is a new one from Yellow, and it is a pirate themed rondel movement set collection game that is actually pretty fun. It's very simple, not difficult at all, but it has a lot of interesting decisions that you have to make throughout the course of the game, so I did give that one an 8 out of 10. And yeah, probably the Viking theme for me pushes it up a little bit higher than it normally would, but I really enjoyed the game. The artwork is great. The game flowed really simply. It's over pretty quickly as well. No more than like an hour. So I really enjoyed the game. Gave it an 8 out of 10. And then the final review that I did this week was one for a game called Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down. Now this is a game that I was introduced to back in Gen Con of 2017, and they gave me a copy of it at Essen 2017, and they gave me a copy at Gen Con this year. And I was able to play it a good number of times. A lot of fun in the game. It's an asymmetric player power area control game that just has a really neat action mechanism where the cards are action cards and they tell you everything that you can do during your turn, but they're drafted. So it just a lot of really neat things here. The only thing that really brought it down a little bit was the component quality, but watch the review, you'll see what I mean. And gave this one an 8 out of 10 as well. So the component quality really didn't lower it that much for me. I just really enjoyed the game, and I'm looking forward to my next play of it. So that is Tsukuyumi Full Moon Down, 8 out of 10. Then I also did a list of 5 games that I demoed at Gen Con 2018, and just gave you some first, maybe second impressions about the games that I demoed. Well, some of the games that I demoed at Gen Con, so that should be a little bit fun for you. We also did another episode of Token Punch Lunch. A lot of of great segments in that one. I really enjoyed putting it together because I like watching all of the different contributors' segments. So go check that out. And then finally, Tom and I did 3 live streams on Friday last week where we played, first of all, Keyforge, the new Richard Garfield card game coming out from FFG. And then we also played Warhammer 40k Dice Masters. We played a couple of games of that on that live feed. And then we also played Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions, the TCG. So those were fun to do, and I think they'll probably be fun to watch as well. So that's it from me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side.
And for me, okay, first I reviewed a game called Weird Things People Search For, which is a game about that, where you're guessing weird things that people search for on the internet. It's funny, it's fun, it's PG-13, keep that in mind. But it's a little one note. Also, there's some things that you would never guess, but it works. It's more of a funny experience than a game. Pequeno, this is a peacock trick-taking game, which has gorgeous production. Like the cards are the feathers of the peacock. I like it, okay? It's an interesting game, but it is a little slow because you're playing someone else's hand, and the point scoring at the end isn't as satisfying as I want it to be. But it is intriguing, and it's very different than other trick-taking games. Grackles. This is an abstract strategy game, really, where you're just placing lines down. You're putting down tiles, rotating those tiles, connecting lines of your colors. Very simple. I think it plays best with 2, but a nice price point. I recommend it. Connect 4 Shots. This has nothing to do with drinking, even though it sounds like it does. It's about bouncing balls into this thing to make Connect 4. It's crazy, it's silly, it's fun, it's different. I think kids will especially like it. Villainous. This game is big, right? About being a Disney villain. One of 6 different villains in this game. The Queen of Hearts, Jafar, Ursula, Prince John. So you can be one of these villains, and you're trying to do some dastardly deed, but a silly, fun, light card game that actually has some fairly meaningful, interesting choices and plays very close. I really like this one. The production is also fantastic. So that's Villainous. Dragon's Breath. This is a game for kids. It won the Kinderspiel, where you have a bunch of rings and you'll take a ring off and see which gems fall down. But before you pull the ring off, everyone is basically picking a color that is the one they think will fall off, and they'll get some of. Works really well. Fist of Dragonstones Tavern Edition. This is the Stronghold version of Fist of Dragonstone, which came out well over a decade ago from Days of Wonder. This has more cards, more stuff. I think the box is slightly too big, but I enjoy the game regardless. Great blind bidding game. Wakening Lair. This is a cooperative dungeon crawl game that's really light, actually, but it's so much fun. It's just roll dice, modify those dice, go get treasure, working together. There's a lot of cooperative dungeon crawls, but I think this one just stands out because how quick and fun it is. Then Western Legends. Whoa, this game is amazing. Really like Western Legends. Cowboy game, sandbox game. Do whatever you want. Move around. Be a rustler. Be a criminal. Rob the bank. Be the sheriff. You can do all that stuff. Very entertaining. Highly recommend it. And then there's Keyforge. I haven't given Keyforge a rating yet because, well, this one is boggling to me. It's very unique. It's very intriguing. I know I like the game. The distribution system is interesting. I'm going to hold off on a rating on it until the full game comes out in a couple months or so. But certainly very, very intriguing. I also did several unboxings this week, as well as a live unboxing. Me, Sam, and Z opened up all the stuff that came from Gen Con, or at least we looked at it all. We didn't open up the boxes. Jason did a whole pile of interviews at Gen Con, so you can see those being posted each day. And we did a few live games on Friday, so you can go check those out also. Hey! That's it. End of this video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again in a week or tomorrow or whatever. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel, and this has been Week in Review on the Dice Tower.